Hi, welcome to Talking with Famous People. I'm host EccentricM, and we're going to talk about what each type would do in a Warzone. So, thoughts, Eric?
Start with yourself. What would you do in a war zone? What would an ENFP do in a war zone?
Alright. I would probably either freak out of fear, or go the opposite direction and have an FI anger overload combined with NE and come up with some horrible traps for people.
What would Trenton? What would an ENTP do in a war zone? What do any noms do in war zones? Like, do they have any business even being there?
I think because our natural position is NE, the first thing we're going to do is try to come up with any kind of possibility in the context of the war, like how we could survive the war or kill other people. But then if you let us marinate on the idea a little bit longer, you'll find us scathe our way out of there. Get the fuck out, basically. In the beginning, it's going to be like, I know I have so many fucking ideas. There are so many ways I could assist my team in this war. And then instantly it's just going to be like, holy shit, what am I doing? Where am I? I need to get the fuck out of here.
Would they be too... Wait, what? Would they be too busy coming up with ideas and before they even got to do anything as far as physically in the war?
You cut out you cut out. I didn't hear anything you just said.
Oh, sorry. I said, would they be able to even execute any of their ideas if they did get into a war?
No, I don't think I'd be able to.
I have some thoughts about this, though. I've often thought I could imagine there's a war photographer who's got some really famous pictures. It's you. It's on your end, Trenton. You're the one.
I'm sorry. It doesn't matter. Who gives a shit?
Hey, turn off your camera. Turn off your camera because that way you'll get better audio. All right. Anyway, he was a war photographer. He was at D-Day, and he took pictures, the only pictures that are there from actual D-Day in World War II. And when World War II was over, he couldn't stand a life that was encumbered by normality. He only enjoyed life when he was in a war zone, taking pictures where anything went. And there weren't any standard rules. And so there wasn't any time to sleep. There wasn't any place to stay. It changed every time, every day. And, you went to the village and you're with the army and you just kicked the Germans out, and the French, the Germans stole all the French's fucking wine and stuff, so you just help yourself some of that because it's stolen goods anyway, and you give back the rest of it back to the French people, and they're happy you're here, so they give you free shit. He was used to that, right? That's this sort of crazy war zone life where no rules apply because you're getting shot at right now. I kind of think there would be something beautiful about the complete lack of tangible SI manifestation beyond today, tomorrow, next week, the week before. Just knowing that there's not even any point in thinking about beyond that or before that, because you're rolling. We're rolling. To me, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like, let's roll. We're rolling. I don't know what the fuck we're doing, but we're rolling, and it's interesting. So I might, but I don't like war or violence at all. That's the thing. I think the empathy would get me. But anyway, that's my thoughts.
I don't think that would actually happen. I think NEP in that environment, I think they would be inevitably forced to do SI, because when you're in a situation like that, you're going to be associating, basically, information you would be receiving in that environment would be sensory things, obviously, and you would be associating those things with the sensory things you've experienced throughout your life, because your function that you use with sensory things is SI. So you'd be inevitably stuck with this SI, either learning about your past or thinking about
you're thinking too much. You're thinking it too much. It doesn't work
that's
like
probably
that.
coming your way.
You're making everything SI then. It doesn't work like that. You're collapsing everything into SI. Let's try a different type. Let's move on to another one besides ENTP.
Do you want to do INTP, Necro?
No, I had an interesting question. What would be the most useless type in the Warzone? Like the less, like the weaker or the, you know?
That's interesting. Mm. The
Like
INFP.
Yeah.
The INFP. Yeah, the INFP.
Because I think with myself, I was saying that emotion could take over anything because of the FI. So would the INFP be similar?
Yeah, but they have it first, so I think
Yeah.
they'd be really just like freaked out by war in general. Like, I think they'd be the least likely to ever be there, followed up quickly by all of the other F types.
Have you guys seen Saving Private Ryan?
Mm.
There's a scene in it where an American soldier fails to take the violent action needed when a German soldier is in the process of about to kill his American colleague, right? And the guy doesn't take action. I think it's Saving Private Ryan. It might have been a different movie, but I'm pretty sure it's one of those big blockbuster ones. And that character to me seems like an INFP, where the INFP is standing there like he's been a conscientious objector the whole war. He's never shot a gun in violence. And now is the moment where he has to save his comrade, his fellow soldier's life. And he sits there in indecision, hesitancy, until finally the German kills his friend. And then later on he kills him. Like later on the guy who was a conscientious objector catches the German guy and shoots him. But the point is, he fucked up. He was INFPing it up, and he didn't end up saving the day.
Yeah, I think INFP and INFJ would both be not good in the Warzone.
And what would be the best one in the Warzone?
The best would be the
ESTP?
ESTP.
Hmm.
The best would be the ESTP.
ESTP.
ENFJ.
And the ISTP. Maybe.
I think ENFJ. I think ENFJs are the perfect soldiers. They love structured group setups with hierarchies and stuff like that. They fit right into that shit. They buy into all the FE team stuff 100%. So it's like Abraham told me, he's like, well, football is a little scary because I get really into that whole thing, you know? So
Well, they're all the same. They're all the same quadra. So maybe that's like the ESTP, the ENFJ, the ISTP, and then the INFJ with the, I don't know about the INFJ.
well, that's Hitler, right?
Oh,
Yeah, INFJs are the saints and the devils of history. They're the ones who like, wow, that amazing person. Like I don't know if Tesla was, but Tesla would be somebody I think of as amazing.
Tesla was a INTJ, I think.
INTJ. Okay, well, like INFJs, somebody everybody thinks is amazing. I'm sure we could think of some, but Jung was supposed to be an INFJ. So regardless, the point is, there's good Jung, there's good Jesus is an INFJ. There's good INFJs like that. They're supposed to be, they're our savior person. And then there's bad INFJs like Hitler. Because the thing about INFJ, they understand the mechanisms of actually controlling people super well because FE is ahead of TI. But they're highly effective at TI because it's their main get shit accomplished in the world function, like FE is with me. It enables everything else to go. They've got to be strong enough to at least enable everything else to go. So they're good with the TI, but they're not referencing NE possible things. They're referencing their glowing resonant truth within them in NI as their dominant function. And then of course, if for whatever reason, circumstances or anything else, then their SE in the fourth slot, which normally prevents them from doing a whole hell of a lot, if history, circumstances, or the people's will empowers them, and you've got a lot of people telling them, "Ooh, you're so wise, you're our hero, Mr. INFJ," well, then they become fucking sociopathic dictators. That's why I want a T-shirt that shows a bunch of dead bodies and a person standing there going like this, and then another person going, and then the guy goes, "It's an INFJ thing. You wouldn't understand." Because the thing is, that's the thing. INFJ truths are magical to them and to a lot of other people, including me. But that's the possibility, is that you may find them one day standing amidst a whole bunch of dead bodies going, I was pretty sure I was doing the right thing.
Have you seen Isabella Ruins Everything by Hot Diggity Demon?
I have not.
That just is like a perfect summary of that.
Is it? That's the story of an INFJ gone bad? An INFJ empowered by a lot of social affirmation and people telling him how they're Jesus or whatever? Well, I think it's an advantage. One advantage of being an NTP is we don't tend to be subject to delusions of being Jesus.
Going back to the Warzone. Yeah, going back to this Warzone topic.
Go ahead.
What would be the worst strategist?
ISFP. ISFP, as a general rule, looks baffled when you mention 3 weeks from now. What? From 3 weeks from now? That's like, what, 2 days? More than 2 days? I forget. They don't understand time well, so they're not going to be good strategists. But ENTP is going to be a bad strategist, too, for a war. We're going to be a better tactician. We're good to have as battlefield generals.
ENTJ would probably be the best, or
Yeah.
INTJ.
Yeah, that would be the best.
The NTJs would probably be the best strategists.
You want a team of them. An ENTJ to manage the people and to come up with some of the ideas. The INTJ to vet all the ideas out and make sure they're sound. You should have an INTP in the mix there to try to tear them down. You know, INTPs will tear them down in a way that's productive. ENTPs will tear them down in unproductive ways. And then have the ENTP hand them your perfect strategy. Hand your perfect strategy to the ENTP, the one person you can guarantee will pay no attention to it, because that's actually the best thing to do. He'll pay a little teeny bit of attention to it, and that's all the attention he needs to pay to it, because he's gonna have to play it by the seat of his pants anyway.
And then the STJs need to be like kind of under the NTJs, but like in charge of everyone else, so that they're keeping structure and whatnot to make sure that everyone actually follows the plan.
Right. They come by and shake their finger at you for not turning in your paperwork on time.
Right. Or just not doing, I don't know, whatever military crap.
Well, I want a Bureau of Cookie Brigade people, the people who are basically, their jobs are just to bring cookies and pat you on the back and say, oh, it's okay, and stuff like that. We pack it full of SFJs, put all the SFJs in there. We can put the NFPs as NFPs. This will be the NFP's job. They can all be psychiatrists for the other NFPs. For the other NFPs, so the whole economy for NFPs will be they'll either be clients of or providers of mental health services.
Can the ENFP go in to the other side as like a spy?
Well, EccentricM has been given a full access NT pass, by the way. So, and you know who else gets a full fucking access NT pass is Enid F. Patterson. That chick's super smart. I couldn't believe how smart she is. She sent me a message. The thing is, NFPs normally they don't like punctuation, which annoys the shit out of me. It's like they don't have time for it or something. They don't have time for punctuation and capitalization. I don't like that. EccentricM, will you justify your lack of punctuation and capitalization?
It's funny you say that because I use those things.
Yeah, you use them, That's not quite the same thing as adhering to them, right? Yeah,
I do.
yeah, you use them like somebody uses Christmas decorations. Like, just throw a couple commas in there and some capitals because it feels like it needs a comma here somewhere. You know, like that's not using punctuation and capitalization. That's just you're more interested in get the ideas out. I totally understand that. I am too, but you're not particularly attentive. Maybe you're younger too. I think older ones are much more attentive to that shit. She's old like me. How old are you?
23.
Oh, you're that young? I thought you
Yeah.
were at least like 30 or 28 or something. Well, that
Really?
explains.
I'll
people
take that as a compliment, then.
Young people don't use punctuation and capitals.
Yes, we
I feel I do. I feel I do.
I
I've
do.
I've not once not used
You know what's
all
coming,
of those
right?
things.
You know what's coming,
I
Eccentric
mean, I
Man.
might not when I'm texting, but I do for everything else.
Let's look. We're gonna take a look. We're gonna take a look at
Yeah,
some
go on.
Eccentric M's comments here.
Go on. Fine. No capitals or punctuation. I bet you're gonna find a comment I wrote when I'm half asleep or something.
Right?
All right. So why JC says why do you need to prove him wrong or right, Eric? It doesn't matter.
No, I want him to.
I want to see. I don't know if I'm right or wrong either.
But okay.
Okay, fine. Well, you tell me what you were thinking then.
I was just thinking.
You sounded exacerbated. Here, EccentricM says, live off the interest for my bills and needs. Get a house, buy my family's houses, giving others who I know or who I love money who need it, and then buy what things I want, have wanted, things I find useful, as well as funding a few charities. I wouldn't blow it on stuff I don't want or would never use for the hell of it, like some people would. Period. From get a house to the end of that is one sentence. EccentricM, full of commas.
Actually, there's a comma after
It's a
charity
run-on sentence. So
and
which
after
is like-
wanted, but it's still that's how I talk. I write how I
Right, it's
talk.
how you talk. It's not like it's an essay, Eric. My goodness gracious.
Wow.
But I have a lot of run-on sentences,
yeah.
so I kind of
I
write
talk
like
in run-on sentences too. That's how I write. I agree with you, EccentricM. That's exactly what I do.
You agree with him about what? That it's a good idea. That it's good to write run-on sentences?
I do what you do. You're
I
right.
agree with
He said nothing you agree with.
I see you're messy. I agree with you. Good job. Yeah, I'm messy. We're all messy about different shit. Sometimes I don't care either. It's kind of a disease. Like, there's a lot of times when I don't want to use punctuation. I don't want to use caps, especially if I'm on my phone. And I have a hard time letting the text get past me if it doesn't meet my English teachery ways, you know? It's annoying because a lot of those things are unnecessary. Goodbye, Necro. Have fun in Portugal. Don't forget to visit some Portuguese attractions, local Portuguese attractions, okay? The Hanging Gardens of Portugal or whatever they
Yeah, I
have.
am here as well, but I
Okay,
woke up late.
what time?
Well, I went to sleep at 9 o'clock this morning, and I think I woke up about 6 o'clock in the evening.
Okay,
That's my sleep pattern for you.
so keep that schedule because I need you to be on the right sleep schedule for upcoming summer. I'm hopeful, very hopeful, that we're going to be able to have a Talking with Famous People convention in Vegas in this upcoming summer of 2017. Okay, so keep on that sleep schedule for the next
Here?
9 months, 10 months, something like that. Yeah, 11 months. Who wants to go to Talking with Famous People convention in Vegas next summer?
I would if I wasn't deathly afraid of planes.
Well, you obviously
will-
need to take a boat, EccentricM. Take a boat. Take a dinghy. JC,
Hello, Roy.
you're gonna come to the. Are you gonna come to the convention? Hmm. JC, you gonna come to the convention?
I mean, depending on circumstances, sure.
All right. Cool. So, all right. Anyway, talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Talking to people.